The Snuffbox, the unbelievable tale of Bogdan's explosive day. Oh, do I have a tale for you? It all began on a particularly misty morning, the kind that wraps the world in a blanket of mystery, making even the familiar seem enchanted. There I was, preparing for my daily promenade in the park, standing before my mirror, reaching for my snuff box with the anticipation of a man about to partake in his favorite vice. Little did I know, my day was about to turn into an adventure worthy of a slapstick comedy. My grandson, the family's resident prankster, had decided to swap my snuff with gunpowder. Yes, gunpowder. In a moment of unsuspecting enthusiasm, I took a hearty inhale and boom! The explosion launched me with such force that I ricocheted off the wardrobe, and something heavy, perhaps the iron, crowned my head with a thud. I was momentarily dazed, my ears ringing, and it was only when I noticed the absence of my shirt and, embarrassingly, other articles of clothing that the reality of my situation dawned on me. But the worst was yet to come. Another sneeze propelled me through the window, frame and all, across the street, and I crash-landed between a dumpster and a clothesline, setting off car alarms and shattering windows in my wake. Well, that must be the end of it, I thought, foolishly believing the ordeal was over. But my nose had other plans. The next sneeze was so powerful, it sent me tumbling down the street past a sewage and a used clothing collection point, causing a geyser of sewage and a tornado of old clothes to erupt in my turbulent wake. Staggering back home, nearly tripping over a lamppost I had inadvertently mowed down in my airborne escapade, I was a sight to behold. My wife, Eve, hearing the commotion and the symphony of alarms and broken glass, rushed to see what calamity had befallen our quiet morning. At first glance, she didn't recognize me. Only the distinctive orange socks gave me away. "Bogdan!" she exclaimed, a mix of horror and confusion in her voice. "Why on earth are you nearly naked in the street?" I had to explain, between fits of uncontrollable sneezing, that I had accidentally inhaled gunpowder instead of snuff. Understanding dawned on her, followed by a practical suggestion. "Why don't you put a silencer on that cannon of yours?" Referring, of course, to my treacherous nose. The rest of the day was a comedy of errors. Each attempt at speech ended in a cloud of smoke and ash, drawing bystanders with fire extinguishers and prompting local seismographs to register minor quakes. My attempts to enjoy a cup of tea ended in disaster, as my sneezes sent the cup flying from my hands, much to the amusement and occasional terror of onlookers. My wife was furious with our grandson for his perilous prank, while neighbors alternated between calling the police and the fire department with every explosive sneeze. Despite the chaos, I couldn't help but laugh at the absurdity of it all. After all, things could have been worse. My grandson could have opted for enriched uranium or dynamite instead of gunpowder. After the tumultuous events of the morning, the news of Bogdan's explosive sneezes spread through the town like wildfire, drawing curious onlookers and a few individuals with their own agendas. First among them was Maria, the elderly lady from next door, known for her partial deafness and tendency to misinterpret situations. Bogdan, feeling a sense of responsibility for the chaos he had caused, attempted to apologize to Maria for the loud disturbances. "I'm terribly sorry for the noise, Maria," he shouted, hoping to pierce through her auditory challenges. Finally responded, "A storm, you say?" Yes, I heard the thunder. Best to get the laundry inside." Bogdan, realizing the futility of his attempts, couldn't help but chuckle as Maria hurried off to save her laundry from the non-existent storm. Next came Mr. Kowalski, the neighborhood chowkidar, with a mischievous twinkle in his eye. "Bogdan, my friend," he began, "since you've become a human hurricane, perhaps you could assist with the autumn cleanup." He gestured towards the street, blanketed with fallen leaves and debris. One sneeze should do the trick. Embracing the absurdity of his new talent, Bogdan agreed. Positioning himself strategically, he took a deep breath and... Achoo! In an instant, the street was cleared of leaves, litter, and accidentally, a bench, an advertising column, and a few flagstones, leaving Mr. Kowalski and the bystanders in a mix of shock and awe. The spectacle soon attracted the attention of a municipal policeman, a man not known for his quick wit or understanding of the unusual. Approaching Bogdan with a stern expression, he inquired, "Do you have a permit for causing such disturbances in public spaces?" Bogdan, trying his best to explain the Snuffbox mix-up, was met with a puzzled look. "A permit to sneeze, sir. I'm afraid it was an accident." But the officer, scratching his head, simply warned, "Well, try to keep it down, will you? We don't want to be issuing citations for excessive sneezing." As the day wore on, Jack, an eager journalist from the local TV station, arrived on the scene, camera crew in tow. Sensing a story that could catapult him to local fame, Jack approached Bogdan with a microphone. "Mr. Bogdan, the entire town is buzzing about your unique condition. Could you share how it all started?" Before Bogdan could utter a word, the inevitable happened. Achoo! The force of the sneeze sent Jack and his OB van skidding to the other end of the street, leaving the crew dazed and the camera still rolling, capturing every moment of the bizarre interview gone awry. In the aftermath, Bogdan's sneezes became the stuff of local legend. Children would giggle and point as he passed, while adults regarded him with a mix of amusement and a healthy dose of respect. The town council even debated whether to allocate funds for a sneeze response team, a proposal that, while never implemented, provided endless fodder for the local newspaper's opinion column. Through it all, Bogdan maintained his sense of humor, his family and friends rallying around him with support, and a constant supply of handkerchiefs. And as autumn turned to winter, the townsfolk found a new appreciation for the quiet that followed the last leaf falling, courtesy of Bogdan's remarkable nose. As for the Snuffbox, it found a new home on the highest shelf, far out of reach of mischievous grandsons, and with a new label, "Handle with care." From that day forward, I made sure to double, even triple check my Snuffbox before taking a whiff, a lesson learned the hard way, but one that has since provided endless amusement to my family and, admittedly, the entire neighborhood. The Snuffbox, the unbelievable tale of Bogdan's explosive day,